Like you said, pretty signature across the board for Entity, even if it does have that Doom last pick effect for them. Smokes break. Stormer gets himself out of range of Tim's and the Tiny's initiation, while the rest of Entity, they're all still up top.
Now, they would definitely like to take a fight level 1. You do have Soul Assumption, one of the best, if not the best ability in the game compared with the Scorched Earth Battery Assault. So definitely looking for a fight potentially compared to Booms. They have Enchantress with the Enchant, doesn't provide you with much damage. Storm Spirit doesn't want to be too close. Maybe potentially a Tossback. Juggernaut's okay taking the fight, but definitely favoring Entity. If Visage manages to get a couple of Soul Assumptions, that's 2, that's maybe even 3 kills.
Through this tournament, we've seen this little switch up as well, with wards going on your opposing lane's high ground instead of your own. So a little more difficult to scout out exactly where that vision is coming from. But is this a 5v5? Almost. A big avalanche, but Saberlight still going to grab the rune, while Jackie was the one lurking hero up top to take the 2 bounties there. And in the end, even trade. All's fair. Stormer mid. Batrider this time against the Storm Spirit. He's got some kill threat, but Storm does equally as well, right? If he's diving on a tower, the 1-1-1 build from Storm.
Gotta be careful. You can't dive Storm Spirit underneath the tower. The slows, the extra pull from the Vortex could potentially get you to kill. And Yopaj this time around, starting with the Magic Stick instead, knowing that, you know, it's a free mana for him, which means free CS. Batrider does consume a lot of mana early on, and looking at the bottom, Fishman.
The poison attacks. FBZ's Viper with Tim's Tiny. One more touch will do the job. Down goes First Blood, and they get Kataomi up at top as well.
Boom, starting with the tips. This is very strong lanes for Boom. You have a Juggernaut plus Enchantress. Enchantress does dish out a ton of damage. And you have Juggernaut, who, like, double healing potentially coming out from both of these two. The way Entity set up lanes is Visage plus Clockwork to be able to potentially trade kills against Viper. They did not want Doom to have that bad of a time. I think Doom is okay. Most of the time they're going to go for Zeus until he gets that Heavenly Jump. And Doom might be able to survive. They don't have anything to stop the TPs with unless they get Enchantress with some kind of a stun creep.
Yeah, we'll see when they get up and running. Yopaj 6 and 3, a little ahead of the Stormer Batrider for now. And like you mentioned, he's got that stick, the little battery to keep him in lane. 16 charges, so not suffering at all. Oh, Bat does need to pick things up a little bit there. A full wave behind in last hits. Oh, a little creep for Scam. Do a little bit of damage before it times out. Nature's Attendance will allow him to trade with this Kataomi Zeus and that Lightning Bolt as well.
Got to be careful what kind of a creep you bring to this lane, because Doom might just kill it, take it away from you, and use it against you.
So you don't want to bring the super strong ones, bring some...
yeah, bring some useless ones.
Some mid-creep, yeah. Tim's, again, onto Fishman, and FBZ. He builds up the stacks. Can I kill him off? He's reasonably tanky here on the Clockwork. Traps the Tiny and the Cogs with him. But he will get back to his tower safely. Well, Kataomi sniped out a courier up top.
Toby's using a lot of mana to try to harass Stormer.
Oh, he's under Firefly here. Stormer going for the kill, but dies instead. Yopaj, he gets the 1v1.
This is what we talked about. You gotta be careful. Stormer overextending there. He's collecting all the tips from the enemies.
He's farming them.
Yeah, he's farming them.
A nice little pull across here. Dire getting their wave into large camp. Saberlight trying to clear the creeps as quickly as possible. Get the ranged one as well. And a lot of freedom for Jackie, but they're going to lose out on a couple of CS under tower. So nice job by Scam to drag that wave back into the waiting arms of Jackie's Juggernaut.
Now this matchup on a mid lane is done. Like, you're not going to be able to kill Storm, because he will have level 6 before you. He got that solo XP level 5. Batrider just hit level 4, bringing in bottle for himself, and does have also Bounty Rune available, so can refill the bottle.
That's true, yeah. Is this a point at which Stormer's like shouting for stacks to be made? Does he go jungle himself? Because we've seen a couple of times these Batriders, when they have struggled in the first 4 minutes, just go straight up jungle.
He might need to, because this is not going to be that play. And also Tim's, like, he's one of the few players that love to rotate early on, especially when he's playing Tiny. And look at his efficiency, checking the water rune and also stacking the big camp.
Yeah, building things up for that storm. While Fishman, what's he up to? He's in behind enemy lines. The recon clockwork man, trying to drag waves. The creeps don't want anything to do with him, gets tipped by Tims. Drops the crybaby in there as well. Battery assault, some good damage in the 1v1, but Fishman here, he's just on the run, trying to manipulate this creep wave and help out his Visage in that bot lane.
They're getting destroyed in lanes, especially this bottom lane. CEO on Viper, 20 and 13 compared to Visage, 6 CS.
Oh, jeez, yeah, you're right. And now another toss back. They find Fishman. He's going to TP home. Places the cogs down, gets back to Fountain. While Yopaj, you said it, he's level 6, so incredibly difficult to kill, if not impossible.
Does have 14 Magic Wand charges, so has some extra mana to work with this time around. Skem getting chased, but nothing's going to come out of it.
Nature's Attendant, such a powerful laning tool. Win that regen trade time and time again. Keep yourself topped up. I mean, Toby here is having a torrid time. Yeah, 8 and 3 still, and he's just hiding behind his tier 1. He's scared of this Tiny wrapping around in, but he might not expect this. Tims chucks him towards the Viper. Tries to run back with the Grave Chill, but Toby, the poison attacks. Okay, they're not quite enough to keep tabs on him. And FBZ now has to contend with Fishman's clockwork. But Boom have that creep wave arriving with a catapult, while Kataomi does get the heavenly jump away from Jackie.
Toby's not farming anything. He got 3 CS in the last minute and a half. These aggression that Tims is put in this, it's just very difficult. He eats a tango, tosses him back into Viper, not allowing him to farm in the mid.
Yeah, the
Storm Spirit's ready to jump.
They've got the enchant, they've got this Raider coming in. The gank into Stormstormer, zip zap and find the kill. Avalanche there as well to help Yopaj secure another one on Stormstormer. Revenge is sweet for Yopaj this game.
Definitely is, and also Tims will be protecting the rune, so having, like, usually Illusion Rune not the best one you can get, but against the Batrider, it's really good. He's gonna pop it immediately, scout things out, and maybe even get a kill on Clockwork here.
Well, who gets the bounty rune first? It's Fishman. Well placed.
They're low on mana.
Yeah, they don't want to get too bogged down in a team fight down in that bottom jungle. And Radiant Vision down there as well. Does see everything happening. But this has left Jackie in a straight 1v1 against the Doom now, because everybody is really focusing in on this mid lane. Zeus is here, Tiny, Enchantress. Even Stormstormer returns into that mid lane because catapults have arrived.
Radiant using Scan, they know Skem is there trying to get some backstab damage. Does have that Ensnare in case he wants to initiate. Set things up for Tim's toss back, and here they go.
Yeah, back into Yopaj, Fishman. And he will TP to defend that mid lane. Storm Spirit retreating back with the rest of his team. But then we look back up the top, and this Juggernaut, 3,000 net worth, straight up Omni Slash, looking to save a life, but bounces to the creeps. Unlucky for Jackie, but they should still have it. Toss back the Doom and slice him down.
Tims is all over the place. Same goes for game number 1. 3k gold lead, 7 minutes in. This is a very slow draft from Entity because Batrider is not having a good time. You have your Visage, who's also been suffering, needs to have that level 6. He got completely dumpstered in the laning stage. Like, your both supports, they need level 6 to make something happen.
Yeah, and it's not the same as previous Entity drafts where if the laning stage has gone poorly, they've had that mid-Tiny or the offlane Enigma, which can and will scale the later the game goes. Is Doom going to bring you enough scaling here? Because looking at Bat and Visage, it's not that great, is it?
He can scale. He can definitely scale once he gets that Hand of Midas, but it's a slow build-up, and another one Yopaj.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't have a sentry because Fishman just killed it.
Scam dies up top, finally. Stormstormer getting his name up on the board. 1 kill for Entity, thanks to the Batrider. Well, Fishman, like you mentioned, did get away, grabbing up that Invis rune. Hand of Midas, a few hundred off for Saberlight. Yeah, long drawn-out build-up towards his item builds. As Boom come back into mid. Bottle refill for Yopaj. Soul Ring and a jump in. Stormstormer has the backup of Kataomi. Tims coming in from the side though.
Firefly.
One spell, the avalanche is enough to kill the bat. now the Zeus and Clockwork, maybe a little bit stuck here, but they're aiming for Yopaj and a good call.
Oh no, he trapped himself.
No backup. He's trapped in there by the melee crate.
Yopaj a bit low on mana and does have a Soul Ring available. They need an extra hero. Entity definitely needs to have like 3 heroes to be able to match Boom's aggression. Let's see what he digs up. Yopaj, all right, trust the shovel, refills the bottle.
Perfect timing for a bouncy rune, and I love the fact that Yopaj is also animation cancelling the ball lightning.
Yes.
Every time you see him, he's going to go for another one. Oh, he's toying with them. The fear that must be in Entity's eyes right now. The Storm Spirit running over them, top of the net worth. He had a similar game, number 1, and he did get taken down a notch, but this time around, who's the one really to catch the Zeus? There's no Tiny. It's like hook shot, Doom. It doesn't feel like they've got a massive amount of burst damage to actually kill Yopaj, especially this early on.
Gonna be a bit of a different game. I mean, this time around, Storm does not have Keeper of the Light to work with. Tims has been using Couriers on Yopaj, and Yopaj gonna TP. Active rune spawning, he wants to be able to control it. It's bottom, double damage.
Oh, a DD for him. Stormer had a few of those in game 1 on his Tiny. Maybe Yopaj here can get that vengeance and show him to really use a DD.
Pydas finally done on Doom, so he'll be able to scale.
And Stormer farming jungle. This is what we expected. Had a rough time, so needs to pick up as much farm as he possibly can. And a Fairy Trinket there grabbed up by Entity as well. Could definitely help his efforts. And there's the Doom Hand of Midas finally arriving. Grabbing up a couple of these tier 1 neutral items at the same time. While Boom just clear out mid, plant themselves into this Radiant Triangle. They're aiming for the Storm back. And Yopaj gonna find him. Storm getting picked up time and time again. It really is a mirror of game 1.
It's 5k gold, 11 minutes, and pretty much the same thing that did happen. Then they had a couple of bad fights. I don't think they're letting this advantage slip.
No, this time around, they know exactly what they need to do. On the Storm, he'll be able to heal them up with Naked Tenders and the healing ball change out. 4 members of Boom to stop the re-initiation from Entity. All the toss back hit him as work in an awkward position. Thrown into the mix.
He's getting away with this.
Surely not. Lane's been left to run back.
He's fine as a magic one charges Zeus ulti. Potentially could hurt, but needed some extra damage. So he uses Avalanche and 3 people gets a toss back Clockwork that had Battery Assault running out. They still get the kill.
Well, that's Clockwork not only got the kill on Clock, but he saves him as well. No contract, trap him, no follow through from Entity. That's all off the back of that back kill earlier on as well.
No free healing salve on the ground. Near Crystal. Someone should pick it up.
Who's left out there? Ring in the jungle. Go on, Tims. Oh, no, he's not one. He's looking mini map probably. Where's my next target? Who am I going to go avalanche toss now? Down, going to take one of your punch. Another refill with a haste rune as well.
Every single active rune that belonged to Boom Esports. Batrider as a hero, he needs those runes, like need that haste rune to be able to get the initiation, drag someone back. We still haven't seen Zeus use ulti, even though he's been level 6 for quite some time.
Yeah, they've not had the chance, this Fishman. Things like this, where Boom plays aggressively into the jungle. Good shot though. Defensively back to Greenway, get away.
This is being outgunned by Server War, but finally they get that last. So
there we go. Storm's in. They're going to find Tim's Tiny here, and this time they will not let him get away.
They need any kind of kills they get to Dobby, trying to farm his lads on the top lane. Still haven't seen anything from him. Not involved in a single kill. Jackie straight on 6,000 net worth on this Juggernaut. Same goes for Viper. We don't talk about Viper, but he has been silently farming besides getting that one early kill on Fishman.
So what's he going to go for? So it looks like he's not going to finish the Dragon Lance. Going straight BKB.
I like that more. Understands that there are abilities that go through magic immunity, but also he wants to be able to stand his ground and just soak up some of the damage and still be able to get most damage done by Viper. Because Viper, if he has full mana, damage coming out from him is disgusting.
Oh, it is, yeah. And if he's the one that is going to be tanking hook shots trying to break through that Zeus damage. Oh, Saberlight getting jumped on here. Yopaj aiming the Doom. Oh, nearly got caught. He lifted his sword there for a second. Boom still want to go, though.
There's so much stuff on the ground. There's Tango.
Tango's and Sal's a Saberlight. He's found by Yopaj. Great jump in. Every little bit of mana used up by Storm.
Yopaj toying with them this time around. Getting in, not allowing Doom to get that Doom off, and then getting out, getting in, back again, and finding an opening, securing the tower for Jackie.
Again, that tower. Put yourself in Radiant Triangle. Now, there is a bit of vision here from Entity, so they see what Boom are up to. Trying to get a bit more farm on Fishman's Clockwork, it looks like, down in that dead lane, pushing it all the way out to tier 1.
Also trying to take away some farm from Entity, because they just farmed the big camp in Triangle and also blocked it by Sentry, so that means that it's going to take some time for them to unblock it.
Yeah, removing all the Ancients, which that Batrider really needs. What are we now? Boots of Travel, what, a third of the way through BKB for Stormer. Smoking with Fishman. Dire Vision down there, might have caught a glimpse of this. There's lots of drawing on the map, and it looks like Boom have a pretty good read of this. Signaling that the maneuver from Entity will be up to top. And that's why Yopaj is ball lightning a little shallower, closer to his own base. And Viper right under his tier 1. Fully defensive from Boom, knowing that Entity want to way back into this.
Yopaj out of mana. He's running back, needs to refill it, and FPZ having a really good read will TP out, know that something's cooking.
They understand perfectly. And Thunder God's Wrath, now Entity, know exactly what's going on. They see every hero from Boom in mid and bottom lane. As Stormer TP's down, lassos up Skem. Did get the Nature's Attendants out, but under the Firefly and the sticky Napalm, that should be lights out for Skem here. Oh, but Boom, they're bringing more heroes across, and Skem is just so tanky. They actually can't kill her off. The Bambi turns around with the help of FPZ. Heavenly Grace from Kataomi into the tree line, but stuck here now. The forest isn't safe.
Laughs in Enchantress. She does have Magic Wand mech, because they did manage to kill 3 towers already, and he's been roaming around freely. That going into Holy Locket next. This is a build that Y does on Enchantress when it's necessary to go for healing.
He can't be allowed to get away with stuff like this. Oh, good Firefly and pick pole from Stormer. Gets over the ramp. Timms was closing in and nearly had the angle for him. Yeah, I think the one thing that would definitely make me even more mad after failing a kill on an Enchantress is if she told me, don't be mad. Just relax, calm down. Don't be mad.
He gets that Holy Locket unless they lasso plus Doom a hero or trap him with the cogs. That hero's not gonna die. It's gonna be way too much healing. Nature Attendants, level 4, mech already done as we've seen in that fight, and now going for the Holy Locket.
And then a shard afterwards probably as well,
Probably
right?
gonna be shard, exactly.
Just pump those heals out non-stop. On Boom have kept themselves up at that 8k lead. Entity doing a decent job keeping themselves in the game. It hasn't completely slipped out of their hands. But Doom does inflate that somewhat. His 7,500 net worth with a Midas and Devour, he really would love to be at the top. And when he's not, often suffers. Maybe a smoke from Entity. They want to clear out this mid-wave, but they're all gathering up here. I'm just looking at this mini-map, Lacoste, and the amount of observer wards that Boom has, all the way from the top river near Roshan down towards bottom lane. They see pretty much everything.
It's very difficult to approach this fight, and one thing that I mentioned is Ancients have not been unblocked yet.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So they're not farming that, which is a big chunk of the gold.
It looks like Saberlight might be thinking about just going straight BKB. He's got money to get Blink Dagger.
Oh, it's definitely a BKB. I think buying a Blink Dagger would be kind of a grief here. You blink in, you get the Ava tossed, and you're dead.
That's a couple of times now. Timms has been just an inch away from finding that perfect catch on a core hero. But the flag is planted by Boom inside the Roshan pit. The rallying call to get the Aegis and Entity. They don't want to be involved. Reclaim their outpost down bottom, get a bit more farm going, get to these key items, but they are handing the world here to Boom.
They decided to give Aegis to Jackie, so even though he's super tanky, does have extra stats, because put only 1 point in Blade Dance, does have full S and Y finished. Maybe I would prefer if that's on Storm Spirit, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be a good option.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Stormer, a little bit risky pushing out this bot wave, but
if their plan is to siege tier 2 towers like this with Juggernaut in front, then it's better if he's holding Aegis.
that's true, yeah. Yeah, if they're just going to go straight for these objectives, put him up there, he'll have the spin and free damage on the towers.
Top tower has
Not really high ground time yet for Boom here. They might poke their heads
That's
up
what
the
you
ramp.
say, but
They're gonna
we'll
force TPs
see.
back,
Jackie
right?
was thinking about it.
They're going to go up here with a creep wave. This is risky. There's Bat Lasso, there's Doom to come, hook shot as well. Decent high ground defense from Boom, so it is just a little wave hello. We can do this. You're not going to stop us right now.
You could feel them hesitating for a second, Jackie going back and forth a couple of times, but we'll try to go and do the same thing for tier 2 tower. Double Philosopher's Stone drop.
Knew it. You see the 2 golden money orbs fall.
Radiant's
Lacoste loves the Philly.
Zeus position 4 loves Philly. He's going to be holding it, and on the other side, no one holding it for now for Boom. And this is going to be another freebie.
Yeah, tier 2 after tier 2. Domino's toppling it. Look at that win probability. 97%. Ice Frog and Gaben, they think the Boom has it.
Oh, it's an illusion.
Oh, Fishman getting baited out. And Saberlight, well, he's on the run now. He's going to have to BKB and try and bail away. The Storm Spirit being healed up as he zips back in towards Fishman to get a kill on the clock. It isn't fair for Entity being destroyed from laning stage through to this mid-game as Jackie still holding Aegis. Not too worried with the Nature's Attendants, gets healed back up to full.
Visage dishing out some serious amount of damage in that fight, also having Raid Pact and reducing what Boom is doing. We don't see that item as much as we did a couple of months ago because it did get nerfed, but it's still a natural build-up for Visage.
It's also pretty good when you're having a rough time. You've got the small incremental build-up, the little items allow you to buy them bit by bit. Don't have to save up too much money when your game's been rough. Well, you finally have a point at which now Doom is overtaking some of the Dire cores. Still difficult for him to really get a grasp on this game or even get an initiation in these team fights. And we see Tim's with his blink reveal. He's smoked up. Entity don't know about this.
Saberlight looks very dead here.
Tim's is in with the Yopaj, and Saberlight, a big kill here. He's not got buyback money.
Midas.
So this might
He got
be
the
time
Midas
to go
off.
high ground. He did get the Midas off, but he's dead for 30 seconds. And look at the rest of Boom.
They're trying to go for the high ground, but the high ground defense is really good. You have a Rocket that is almost maxed out. You have a Zeus spamming out Arc Lightning, and also Visage parking himself, and the Birds using Soul Assumption, because damage buildup is very good, very fast for Soul Assumption in this one.
Yeah, the Zip Zap Zeus blasting out these creep waves. Entity have been hemmed in a little bit here, though. Can't leave the base, don't want to go out and farm any neutral camps, so it is complete freedom for Boom. They're getting a lot of farm on these supports now as well. We saw the blink on Tiny, and he's already well on his way to a 4 staff on top of these neutral items arriving as well.
2 observer boards from Boom, scouting things out. Every single time Entity tries to make a move out of their base, they're getting scouted, unless they're smoked, and you don't want to be using smokes for that.
And this has been a perfect first Aegis as well, hasn't it? Now, we don't usually see this first Aegis used to go high ground. It is primarily taking over the map, getting that farm, killing off tier 2s, and Boom has ticked every box on that checklist. But now Entity making a break for it. They're smoking. They don't have blink on Doom yet, so the
Look at
catch
Toby
is
putting his Raid Pack in and out of the backpack so that he can't be seen, because he was close to creep wave, did not want to reveal himself.
clever stuff from him, yeah.
And these athletes, very smart. Got a couple of tricks up their sleeves.
They do. But they still are unable to connect with any meaningful kind of initiation here. And Boom, smoke into smoke, just running up high ground. Tim's, he's forced the BKB out of Saberlight and the immediate TP out, but he cancels it
fake
now.
TP.
Tries to Doom in, but Jackie, he's taken down the clockwork. Doom now in an awkward
They
spot.
will find him.
They see him, find the Doom, and Saberlight down.
Oh, bit of a miscommunication there from Entity, not knowing whether they want to strike or go back and sacrifice Clockwork. This is a big loss. This is supposed to be your position 1 Doom, so he's feeding away a decent amount of gold.
Yeah, now you've got Batrider at the top of the net worth on the Radiant instead. Storm has been shoving out that top wave quite consistently, but he's got to come back and defend, because look at Yopaj. BKB'd up, diving tier 4s, killing off the Zeus. They've got buybacks here on Entity, but it feels like there's just no way back into this. It's 2 to 16.
With Arcane Rune used by Storm Spirit, so that's going to be another one. Every single rune has been picked up by Boom.
Oh, well, he's got a DD rune waiting for him bottom as well. Jackie, no creep wave, so really can't do too much damage to the tier 3s.
Top tower is under
And Boom, just going to back things up. Consider that next Roshan. They know that they're in a winning rhythm right now. There's no need to really make any rash decisions, don't need to change anything. Just keep doing what they're doing. And Entity are the ones that will have to make some kind of desperate
Entity wants
play.
to smoke one more time and try to get something done. Last time, it was not a good initiation. They were not on the same page. It was pretty much the same smoke that they did. Creeps are approaching the base, so they have like very limited amount of time to strike. And this is being pinged out because he has right back. They know Visage is around.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
And also no one's pushing the bottom lane, so it was pretty obvious smoke.
Yeah, both teams scanning. Radiant knows where Dire is, Dire knows where Radiant is, as both circles turn red. Well, Dire triangle left unfarmed. FBZ saying, hey, we've got so much money to go and gather up in both of these triangles. No need to rush anything. Get our next big key items. That should close this one out. Entity able to regain a little bit of land, though. Kicking Boom out of that bottom jungle.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And most importantly, getting vision down. When you need these initiations, having that glimpse of vision, the intel to catch out a Storm or a Juggernaut before they're able to BKB or spin. That's the only way in here for Entity. Oh, but now he's got Kaya Sanj on Yopaj.
He's been farming the whole map. It's very difficult for Entity to show on any lanes. They did regain Outpost.
Oh, and here they come. They don't see him. Radiant high ground vision.
Scam his base.
Sentry
He's way too
down.
tanky. He does have that hood. He's like, go at me, please.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Initiate on me, I dare you. His courier does die, but he should still be able to get the D-Ward as the Thunder God's Wrath scouts them out. The spin is there, but Storm
They need Doom.
with a lasso. Where's the Doom? He's running to the back line. Sableye BKB'd up and focusing onto the Jug. He's pushed back by the Cogs, and Jackie's dead. Entity come back in with a sick fight. And Boom, they're trying to fight back here. FBZ, he's dominating, stacking
He
up
has
poisons,
Blink, he
but
can get out.
He's about to fall.
They used every single ulti on him that goes through Magic Immunity. Let's see how much time it's going to take to kill Bambi. She is stanky, but when they have 4 heroes on top of her, is it happening again, Gary? Is this the beginning of comeback from Entity?
The turnaround.
They used Lasso during Spin, Doom, and also Hook Shot to keep Juggernaut in place. Forced to use 1 buyback.
But here's Yopaj. He re-enters. Brings down the Toby Visage. Now looking for the familiars in the outpost as well.
Yopaj used all of his mana to jump Zeus. And then they realized we don't necessarily need to kill him. We are going to go for the Juggernaut instead. Like, look at Yopaj's mana. Another active rune. Forced to use everything. And, yeah.
Zeus just flies back.
Is under attack.
Nice.
That's why Entity was keeping that outpost in their hands for a very long time.
This Juggernaut definitely needs to be a little more wary of those magic immunity piercing abilities. We'll start seeing Lincolns come up for their team. The Storm has one queued. Scardy first for Jackie, though. Get him tankier.
Dire's bottom tower.
And Entity maybe now a little more comfortable in terms of where they're sitting in this game. It is still a 10k lead, but one good fight can lead to another. Momentum builds and you get more confident in your initiation abilities.
Also, Stormer, he is getting close to the point where Batrider becomes very obnoxious. This is a new build on Batrider. It was popular until Shard got to nerf, but people realized it's still very good. So going for Witchblade next, amplifying the damage with his Sticky Napalm charges, and also Fey Grenade, and having that potential attacks applying Sticky Napalm charges.
Are scanning.
Ah, it's pretty nifty.
Yeah, and you can still attack during lasso, which is a big deal.
It is for sure. Has to kind of get his timing right around the BKBs and the spin though, doesn't he? Maybe Entity look to kite them out or doom some of those key heroes before they can have those defensive items ready. As Boom look for another smoke maneuver. Juggernaut shows on the mid wave. A long line drawn here as Entity. They're going to get jumped top. Oh, Storm, he blinked away from the ball lightning. And a BKB TP gives him the safety. So TP back to Fountain.
They have no abilities that can stop the BKB TP. Jackie finishing his Eye of Scotty. Roshan spawning right about now. Kobold Foreman will scout things out.
Oh, yeah, cheers, Roshan. Swigs out of his chalice. I wonder what's in there.
Oh, FPC.
Oh, he's going to get found by Storm. Stormer, he blinks
Blinks
away.
out. If that Zeus ulti came in 1 second earlier, they would be able to pick him off.
They will find Tim's, though. Dead with no buyback, 50 seconds, and Roshan's alive. Second Roshan here. If Entity are able to maybe get one more kill, turn that into Roche. But look at their lanes. All of the creep waves pushing towards the Radiant base. They need to maintain these before they can really make a move.
If they can buy time until BKB's online on Batrider, potentially Lasso as well. They do have scouting tools. Zeus ulti is not available, but still Rocket Flare on low cooldown. So if Boom decides to go for Roche, they will be scouted.
What's Saberlight up to? He got his blink BKB after the Midas. What's next on this kind of carry Doom? Is it still Shiva's Shard?
Shiva's definitely to be able to reduce the healing, because Enchantress is causing a lot of issues. Same goes for Healing Ward if he manages to get it off.
Because we have seen some kind of like Aghanim Scepter, Refresher Orbs, these kind of things come out, but he wants to have those stepping stone items, tank himself up so they can keep fighting. Doesn't want to be waiting with lots of unspent money or items he's not fully completed.
Entity wants to go again. They know.
Oh, look at that Zeus
Boom
damage.
is doing Roche.
17,500 damage coming out of Kataomi, the highest in the game it looked like there. Courier and a high ground ward. About to get removed by Toby, but Roshan down below half health. Scouted by Rocket Flare.
And also Birds. There is potential that Fishman's going to go in and try to steal this Roshan.
Fishman, Stormer. They've both got the ability to make those long-range jumps. Skem loses his troll to the hand of Midas. No more body blocking. Tims puts his body in harm's way. Roshan about to die, and Stormer doesn't get it. Jackie picks it up as Saberlight focusing in onto FPZ. Got the Doom onto the Jug, and in the back, Kataomi picked off by the Storm of
They need to retreat.
Saberlight TP's home. Toby does the same. Stormer trying to bail away. There's no more stuns.
Jackie got everything from that Roche. Tims also clutch movement, buying some time for his team, blocking the potential hookshot angle and allowing Juggernaut to pick up both Aegis and Shard.
Yeah, they did everything right. Skem with a troll, body blocking, Tim's there with the avalanche. Just create that boundary, that line. Doesn't allow Entity to cross. 2 heroes dead for 10 more seconds. Tier 3 looks almost a guarantee for Boom to take it. Especially when they've got this Juggernaut holding Aegis.
Also, Boom is itemizing correctly. Every single core is getting Lincoln Sphere, plus Tims is getting Lotus Orb. So they will be stacking Lincolns, slow sieging, and they're getting very close. They're not going to have it right now, but eventually we'll have it. And then whole Entity's plan of locking onto one target, potentially 2, using Lasso and Doom, is going to go down the drain.
Yeah, and no mistakes from Boom. They've lost one team fight this game down to some nice movement from Entity, but this is it. Game 2. All on the line now as they push high ground, fall back a little bit. This is the kind of discipline we've come to know and love from Boom. Thinking about the Rego, though. That TP out from Stormer puts him in an awkward spot because he's trying to push out top, while Tims, he's found the toss back. Clockwork sent in towards Skem, forced after the high ground, a hook shot's out, but Yopaj, he's in, diving deep with his BKB, finds the Clockwork, gonna force the buyback out of him, while Saberlight and Stormer, they're on the Jug for the Omni Slash at the last second. Bounces back in towards the Birds, and he's safe and away.
They need to heal up. Entity, they would definitely love to get something more out of this. Fishman with the buyback, that Juggernaut ulti not doing much, but still Boom feels very comfortable coming into the next fight with multiple Lincoln Spheres online.
Yeah, still having like 3 minutes left on the Aegis as well. in an incredible spot. No reason to leave this bottom lane right now. Can stick around with a few heroes, maybe look for the entity smoke, which they might be expecting to come their way. In Radiant Vision right now, all they see is that top triangle, as well as creep waves in their base. Nothing deeper. So Boom right now could be anywhere on the map. They will prep themselves though. Get ready for that high ground push again. Jackie straight up there. Not a care in the world, holding Aegis, having spin. Nature's attendance in the healing ward. Keeping him topped up.
He would love if there's some kind of initiation on him, but Entity is still going to respect it. Teams, that's a good one.
Visage does go into that stone form to heal back up, and look at Yopaj. He really wants Kataomi, and he's going to find him, take down the Zeus. Buyback's available, but Tim's in the back. He's got Lincoln's on him, still dying to Fishman while Sableye about to fall. Storm has his number. Lincoln's popped, no lasso, no catch, and Yopaj is out of there.
Yeah, that newly bought Lincoln Sphere not allowing them to get the lasso done and not being able to save Doom.
I do claim the Aegis now, though. As Jackie breaks back up high ground. One lane remains until Mega Creeps come. Boom might be a little more timid, knowing that the buyback on the Doom is available, but no, forget that. They're on Stormer. Quick little spin to win from Jackie. Force the buyback out of Sableye. And Tim's focused down, but the Omni Slash is there on the Doom. The dieback.
They might call it, and they will.
GG call.
What a clean victory from Boom. They did not allow Entity's lineup to come online ever. Completely dumpstered in the laning stage. Top lane, free farm from Jackie, and also FBZ on Viper. Like